kids, it's Lori from Nourish, Natural Nutrition for Your Life, and it's that time of year again. I went up today to Pullman, Michigan to the Country Life Natural Food Store and did a small food haul. I had done a larger one earlier this year and went up with my mother today. It was just a good day to do it. And so I didn't bring back the usual amount, but I want to share with you what I did bring back. And I am planning on going completely through my pantry from top to bottom and all the cupboards in my kitchen, pulling out things that I may have forgotten were there, and planning ways to use those things, planning out, not recipes, but planning out dishes, things for a menu that would cover probably, several weeks, if not a month. I really feel the need to go through and use what I have. I'm going to augment what I have with some of the things I bought, and of course some fresh items, and really get tight about menu planning, budgeting for food, and just really devoting myself to that. We're going to unfortunately be heading into the winter soon, and I want to have meal plans ready to go. I've even thought about having either bags or boxes with all the ingredients, all the non-perishable ingredients for a particular meal, and have something super ready to go so that if I'm in a hurry, if we're snowed in, oh please let's not talk about that, but if we're snowed in, then I have everything I need to make whatever it is that I would like to make. So let's get started. Without further ado, let's get started. Let's start with the smaller bag here. One kind of flour that I use a lot is spelt flour. It is a wheat flour, so it does contain gluten. It's not a gluten-free, but this particular store, Country Life, handles a brand called 1 Degree, and this is not only organic spelt flour, but it's sprouted. So the nutrition level is boosted up, the digestibility is boosted up. Obviously, it's a processed product, as all flour is, but this is vegan. It's actually kosher as well, and I believe it adds a real creamy, nutty color and texture to any kind of baked goods that I make. So what I usually do is use unbleached white flour, like maybe half and half, unbleached white and the other half the spelt. So I got a 5-pound bag of organic sprouted spelt flour. So this is highly nutritious, high quality for $13 even. So good deal from a very reputable company. So that's one thing. I can barely lift it, but they are a great source for this semi-local raw honey. I say semi-local because this comes from Gobles, Michigan, so there is local, or honey, more local than that, but this is from Michigan. They had a deal going. This is normally $24 for 5 pounds, 80 ounces of raw honey, but they had a deal where it was, I believe it was 10% off. I paid like $21 and some odd cents. You can't, raw honey for that price, for this much, can't beat it. I use it in baking, but I also use it when I make my homemade elderberry syrup. And with winter, once again, we got to talk about that. Winter coming, I will be making some of that, and I do sell that. So there's another huge, so heavy I can hardly hold it, jar of raw honey for that purpose. I usually order all my supplements from Pure Encapsulations, and I do sell that brand to former clients of mine, but they were out of vitamin D3. It was back ordered, and so the Now brand, if if I were going to go into a store and buy a non-professional grade brand, now is a good one. And so I got some D3 to last me until my pure encapsulations comes in. Country Life Foods always has like a little bargain bin. I got wheat germ, and I'm trying to think. Okay, 80.80 pounds, so not quite a pound, of wheat germ for 45 cents. Can you believe it? So I will add this to what I have. I always keep wheat germ in the refrigerator because hopefully my body and head and all that are in the screen here. Because it is the oil portion of the wheat kernel, and we don't want it to go rancid, so I always keep that in the fridge. So wheat germ, I use that in different baked goods, in my Cornell bread that I make. So I got some of that to add to what I already have. Let's start over here. All right, I couldn't pass this up. This is whole wheat organic Italian pasta shells, a brand called Mantova. So we've got a 1 pound package of shells for $1.60. You cannot beat it. I mean, my mother was like astounded at the prices. Okay, sweetener-wise, I'm not doing much sugar myself, but once in a while, when you make a baked good, and for years I have been using raw sugar that still has the molasses content in the sugar. It's not refined or bleached. I mean, it's refined to a point, but it's not bleached out. If it's white rice, if it's white pasta, if it's white bread, if it's white sugar, get rid of it. You heard it here. So sucanat, which is granulated cane juice, retaining the molasses. I've got 5 pounds here. That's the go word today, 5 pounds, for $11.25. This will last me a long time. And then on the bargain bin, they had a little 0.86 pounds for $1.45. So I got a little bit of that to add to the big container. We might as well finish on this side. Rice. They didn't have my basmati organic today in a 5 pound bag. They had a 25 pound bag, but okay, I'm not ready for that. This is long grain rice, organic, 5 pounds again for $8.25, and this goes a long way, as you all probably know. Short grain rice, organic on the bargain bin, 2.98 pounds for $4.90. So I got that going. My husband loves their walnuts that I get there. Now these are not organic, but sometimes you can't get organic, and that's okay. I have guesstimated that we probably use 90% organic, 10% conventional, and I think that's good. Walnut halves and pieces, 3 pound bag for $15.75. And I did a comparison. Kroger's has great prices, and I love my Kroger store. And if I buy my little, I think it's a 12-ounce bag of walnuts, I pay like $6.99. I figured out that this 3 pound bag was $14 cheaper than if I bought the same amount at Kroger's. So I can't beat that. I mean, I know I have to drive to Pullman. It's like an hour and 20 minutes from here. But if you put it together with other things you're doing, or if you're going to take a drive there anyway, it's near South Haven, it's near Sawyer, not far from New Buffalo. So if you're going up in that vicinity, why not? The amount of gas my car would take to get me there, it's worth it. Okay, and finishing up in this bag, I like the this particular brand of brown rice pasta in its spaghetti style. Tinchiata, I think is how you pronounce it. And I got myself a bag of that. That cooked up with sauce on it or whatever, you don't even know it's not traditional pasta. This was a treat, although it was a cheap treat. Sprouted brown rice, split pea, and quinoa mix that I can cook up. And my rices I can cook in my Instant Pot, so I could do this in that. This has split pea, brown rice, quinoa, sprouted brown rice, wild rice, and whole millet. So all the great grains go in here. I'm not going to get into it right now, but I would like to do a video about my shift over to primarily vegan eating, not my husband's, but mine, and getting back into eating starchy vegetables and more grains, and how good I feel and how I've lost weight. So I know that the paleo diet is really popular right now, or the keto diet, however you want to word it. But I will delve into that and maybe even do a newsletter about that, because I think that I still promote, first and foremost, whole foods, quality whole foods, plant-based diet, but I think there's a real place for high-quality grains and a limited amount of pastas. I would not do pastas every day of the week because that's a processed food, but I think there's a place for it. And from a health standpoint, I think that we'll fare better with plant-based foods than any other foods. And that's not just my opinion, that's a scientifically proven opinion. So, lots of science backing that. And the last thing in the bag, cranberries. Now these are sugar sweetened, but for muffins or hot cereal, and I'm going to give some of these to my mom, I got a 1-pound bag for $3.85, so that's a sweet treat. I think that's it. So I hope you enjoyed my little food haul. Once again, Country Life Natural Foods is in Pullman, Michigan. Pullman is a little bitty place that I never knew existed until I discovered or heard about this health food store. And getting to the store the first time is kind of strange, but once you've been there, you're like, you're a believer. So my mother even said, and she's always stretching the dollar, but she said this was worth the trip. Oh, and my food total. I think my receipt's in my purse, but I believe I spent $93. And I could not have bought, this alone, this much honey alone could be $30-some. So, when you think about what I have here and how long it's going to last and the quantity, that was a real savings. And so I am going to be working on the pantry and clearing things out, getting really organized, knowing exactly what I have, planning out meals, and hunkering down for a change of seasons because it's inevitable. If I could move to Bali, hey, then I could just eat Balinese food, but it's not going to happen this year. So that being said, you go out there and make it a nourishing day for yourself in whatever way you can. And it's good to be back on YouTube, and I plan on making it a more regular habit. So have a great day, and I will see you soon. So I'm going to get up and turn my camera off because I don't have an assistant. Goodbye, everybody.